To create the Bohr model of carbon-12, first we need to identify how many protons, neutrons, and electrons does a carbon-12 have. Remember that the 12 is the mass number, and if we look on the periodic table, we can get the atomic number, which is 6. The atomic number tells us the number of protons. Because this carbon-12 has no charge, it means it's neutral, and therefore we have an equal number of electrons as we do protons. So, because this is a neutral atom, the atomic number equals protons and electrons. Finally, the neutrons are going to be determined by subtracting the mass number of 12 minus the atomic number of 6, which is going to give us 6 neutrons. So, it doesn't always happen this way, but turns out protons, neutrons, and electrons are all an equal number. So now I'm going to drag 6 protons and 6 neutrons to the center of my nucleus. 6 protons and then finally we need our 6 electrons. However, you have to put them in a very specific order and a very specific amount. So you can have a maximum of 2 electrons on the first energy level. That's this first ring closest to the nucleus. And so we have 1, 2 electrons there. Now, the second energy level, which is this one right here, can have a maximum of 8. However, I don't need a total of 8. I need 6 electrons total in my model. So we have 2 so far. Means I need 4 more electrons. I'll place 1, 2, 3, and then 4 on the second energy level, and now I have my 6 electrons. You could have a maximum of 8, so if I still needed more electrons, I could go until I have 8 on this energy level, and then I would have to start filling the third energy level, which for our purposes can also have a maximum of 8. Okay, what if we have a carbon ion that has a positive 1 charge? Positive 1 charge means that we've lost electrons. So a carbon with a positive 1 charge would look like this, where we have 6 protons and we have 5 electrons. Notice that protons are positive, so we have a positive 6 versus electrons, which are negative, so we have a negative 5. And so positive 6 and negative 5 give us this positive 1 charge right here. Okay, well, what if we were dealing with, so let's go back to a neutral carbon. I'll put my 6 electrons there. So positive 6, negative 6 cancels, and that's a neutral carbon. So now what if I want to create a carbon with a negative 1 charge? Well, that means that I'm going to need to have 1 more electron. And so instead of just 6 electrons, we're going to have 7. So I'm going to add 1 more electron on the outer shell. So now this would be a carbon negative 1 ion because it has 1 more electron than it does protons, giving it an overall negative 1 charge. So now it's your job to complete the Bohr models on the subsequent slides and then submit your work on Canvas.